Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mita Sukihonto. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 48 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight we are going to discuss the 23rd session of Sigalovada Sutta. Sigalovada Sutta is the fourth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 47 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wish to join the class, where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Now, please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Patisota Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners, as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dharma Pariyesana, Patisota's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Patisota with the link www.patisota.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka from 2012 and till 2015. Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante, and thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Bhante.
I thought you could have shared some highlights of the novitiate program at the temple. Hope everything is going well, huh?
Yes,
How many kids got ordained this time?
Currently is the sixth day. Tomorrow will be the last day.
Okay.
This year we have total of 33, and we have 21 Samanera and 12 of Upasika.
Oh, Samanera and Upasika.
Yes.
Okay. You don't call them Samaneri, or I mean, is it because of not shaving the hair?
Yes, not shaving the head.
Oh, I
8
see.
preceptors, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so give me a second. Great, good to hear all that. So welcome back, everybody, to Sutta discussion day 48, and also to the 23rd session of Sigalovada Sutta. We have today and then next Friday, hopefully we're going to finish Sigalovada Sutta. And we have today Liana, Lynn, Bella is back after Vipassana retreat. Kim, Kelvin, Sadhris, and Suresh. Probably a couple more might be joining, and we'll see how things go. All right, so let's pay respect to the Buddha. Before that, let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse. Right, so we finished discussing about the responsibilities between employers and employees. That was what we ended up by last Friday. So at the end, we had a sort of Q&A about how different people understood and how they understood employers and employees, and how their individual relationships between them, work, and what were the important aspects of such relationship, like Emma and others they share. So they were very interesting because we need to sort of think beyond what we see, and we always think that some relationships are difficult. I think every relationship is difficult unless we do not do our part, right? We always have our part, right? And that is how we understood. So today we are moving to an interesting, very interesting relationship that includes all of us, which is going to be the last relationship. Okay, it's none other than Samana Brahmana, and who's the other group? How do we call them? Samana Brahmana, and who are the others? Kulaputta. Kulaputta. So Kulaputta versus Samana Brahmana. Right? Normally, as a respect, Kulaputtas, that means householders, devotees, let's say devotees, dayakas, like you, dayakas, devotees, you are supposed to do your part for the Samana Brahmana. We have questions about why is it called as Samana and Brahmanas, right? So we have to discuss that too. Okay, so let's see the text first. I will ask somebody to read, somebody, whoever would like to read, and then see this translation, and we'll get into the discussion. Okay, it's gonna be here. So we can only discuss about the dayakas, lay people's responsibilities towards Samana Brahmana. It's gonna be until here. Yes, it's fine. Okay, so who would like to read this Pali? Yeah. Yeah. Who would like to read? Don't worry, just go ahead. Okay, Aliana. Yeah.
Pancahiko kahapatiputta tanehi kulaputtena uparima disa samana brahmana pacupattaba metena kaya kamena metena vacikamena metena mano kamena anavata warataya amisanu padanena.
Great. So it seems that Pali words that have a combination, like long combinations, are a little hard to read, right? But it's okay. Let's see. Panchahi ko gahapati putta tanehi kulaputtena uparima disa samana brahmana. Okay. This is a compound in Pali. We call it a samasa actually in Pali. Don't worry about it. It's about Pali grammar. Pachupattha tabba. Number one, there are 5 responsibilities a layperson, I would say layman, laywoman, supposed to do for Samana Brahmanas. Number 1, mettena kaya kamme. First responsibility a devotee is supposed to do. Let's take monks here, Buddhist monks or Buddhist nuns. They are the ones you know at the moment. The first responsibility is mettena kaya kamme. We'll discuss translations later. Number 2, mettena vaci kamme. That's number 2. Number 3, mettena mano kamme. That's number 3. Look at this one. We'll make it a little bigger. Okay, that's the one. It's difficult for many. Anavata dwaratai. Anavata dwaratai. Now, what if the how do you say that? The circle below T is not there. How do you pronounce it? Right. What if this Pali letter, you see the T, did not have this circle below T? Then how would you then read it? Now here, call it Anavatat Dwaratai. See this one? See, there's a circle between. Sorry, now below T. If the circle is omitted, then we say Anavat, not it, right? Simple. That means like Kulaputtena. We don't say Kulaputtena. We don't say Kulaputtena. It's Kulaputtena. That is here. That is not here. It is called Kulaputtena here. Anavata Dwarataya. Now you see here, Dwarataya. This is the here. Anavata Dwarataya. See, that means in English, we have to find out how does individual Pali letters get pronounced. We call it, Tatadadana, that's how we pronounce some Pali letters. See here, we call it, how do you call it in phonetics? I would say they are probably called not labials. Tavaggalasa Muddaja. So anyways, there are certain places where you pronounce these letters. Okay. So Anavata Dwarataya. Then the last one, fifth one is called Amisa Nuppadane. Amisa Nuppadane. Now it's pretty crazy. How some people break some Pali words when they chant. Have you found this problem? If you go to a sutta like I would say Ratana Sutta, let's go for it. See how people chant it. Can find different ways to chant, but okay. Okay. Now here you see Ratana Sutta, right? See how it is given in Pali. Yani the bhutani samagatani. Bummani va yani va bummani va yani va antaliki. Sabbeva bhuta sumana bhavantu atopi sakkacha sunantu bas. Now the problem is not with the last two lines. The problem is here. See the second line. The problem comes in second line. How do people chant? Yani the bhutani samagatani. Bummani vaya niva antaliki. So they're gonna break out here. They're gonna break up here. See. So you don't understand the particular Pali word. Bummani vaya niva antaliki. Bummani va yani va antaliki. We can't blame anybody, but if somebody is listening correct Pali, they might understand why you break the Pali word. It's like, how do I say that? May I be well, may no harm come to you. It's like, may no harm come to you. Like that breaking has some issues. But in here, so when you pronounce some Pali, especially chanting, there are issues because whether you particularly pronounce the full Pali word, right? Tasmahi bhuta nisa meta sabbe mettang karut manasya pajaya divacharatto chaharanti bali tasmahi nira. That's okay. So in that way, there are some issues when you pronounce some Pali, especially Pali has to be pronounced in its entire word, but there are still issues how the chanting has been familiar with many people. So in the same way here, as you can see, Amisa nuppadane. Somebody might say Amisanu padane. Amisanu uppadane. Amisanu padane. Right? Okay. So Panchahipo Gahapati Putta Tanehi Kulaputtena Uparimatisa Samana Brahmana Pachupatatapa Mettena Kaya Kammena Mettena Vachi Kammena Mettena Mano Kammena Anavatadvarataya Amisanupadana. So now I'm going to ask somebody to read English translation. It's gonna be here. I think. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah. Okay, would you like to read? Yeah, please unmute your microphone. Yeah.
I start.
Yeah, great.
In 5 ways should ascetics and Brahmins as the upper direction be respected: by kindly actions, speech, and thoughts, having an open door and providing material needs.
Okay, now let's connect this to the Pali one. Now you see here ascetics and Brahmins, not the monks, not the bhikkhus, not bhikkhus or bhikkhunis. At that time you call bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, they all come under ascetics. And who are the Brahmanas? Is that the priestly class who still, who still dominates the Hindu society? Could be. It could be because they were the people who connected people to the god, right? Different gods. Yeah. It's a priestly class. So now we're going to translate this one. Panchahiko Gahapati Putta. There are 5 ways householder. Kulaputtena. Kulaputtena means, who is a Kulaputta? Now Gahapati Putta means householder. Kulaputta? Who is a Kulaputta? It has not been translated over here. So the English translation skips the translation of the person. Who is a Kulaputta? Anybody heard this before? Kulaputta means?
Young men.
Young man. Yes. Young man is one translation, right? So it was given to, this particular person. So young man. Yeah. In 5 ways, a young man or young woman supposed to treat or cover the Uparima Disa. Uparima means which direction is that? Upper direction. Not the north, it's upper, higher than north. Who should he treat? Samana Brahmana. Samana means all the monks, nuns, and all the other Samana traditions. There were many other Samana traditions. What are the other Samana traditions that you know already? Can you give it a try? What were the other Samana traditions that you know? At the time of India? Was it only Buddhist monks, Buddhist nuns? Can you name a group of people, group of ascetics? Yeah, Sadhis?
Jains.
Jains, that was the most famous type of ascetics, Brahmanas. Okay, Jains. Actually, they are even more powerful than Buddhists, even now today. Very powerful. That was the only, I guess, probably the most dominant Samana tradition that is still in India. All the others were wiped out because of the Muslim invasion, because of other problems. Even Buddhism, you don't see many Buddhists, especially the practicing Buddhists that you know. So you are lucky, huh? Even you live in different countries, still practice, you still want to go to that Indian time of practice, right? But it's not the case in India for different reasons. So Jains are the most popular samanas at that time. Even now today, there are two types of Jains. One type of Jains, they wear clothes, white clothes. Others are naked. They are naked. Interesting, huh? Now, somebody might wonder why they are naked to become monks and monks. Why is it? Niganta. The Pali Sanskrit word Niganta. Niganta means they don't even attach to their clothes. So they're going to take it off. Why do I wear? Huh? I don't even attach to this. So people might to understand, you know, we are not that extreme. Huh? We're going to wear our clothes not to show that how attached I am, but we understand. We're not going to bring anything to the next life other than our good karma, bad karma, kusala, kusala. But that is a bit extreme. That is what we think in Buddhism. But they think it different. Listen, do not attach to anything. Ganta means cloth. Niganta. We don't even like our clothes. We're going to take it off. Take such off. Okay. So that is why the Buddha included all the samanas into this relationship. Not even the monks and nuns in Buddhism. That means even you see, do not take it in a wrong way. Let's say when Samana Brahmanas come from different traditions in today's life. Let's say a Christian father comes over to your house. So we are not saying that we are Buddhists, so we're not gonna probably learn, but we just treat them nice, right? That is our way, because we are not saying that just because we are Buddhists, we are not going to respect other religions, right? We respect, but we don't believe, but we respect. We have no enmity towards others. Right? In the same way, we have to understand other religious traditions too. So the Buddha said, especially you have this Buddhist background, so you are closer to the Buddhist monks and nuns, and even to others, you maintain the same attitude in the proper right way. You are not somebody who goes to the church and listen to the church talk and also go to the Buddhist temple and you will learn, but that is not your way. But in a mixed marriage, you may have to do that, right? Maybe your wife might be a Christian, she might be somebody else Hindu, so you may have to go, but your personal belief system may be different from that without making a problem each other. Okay, so Samana Brahmana. Samana has all the groups. What are the other Samana groups, now folks? Now Sadhiri said the most important group, Jains. What are the other Samana groups? Just give some thoughts. Now in the Digha Nikaya, is it Digha Nikaya? Yes. In the Digha Nikaya, there is a long sutta called Samanya Pala Sutta. It's one of the longest suttas. Samanya Pala, the fruits of becoming a samana. In that sutta, Buddha talks about different samana traditions. Buddha said, you don't belittle any of them because they have lots of followers. These traditions have lots of followers. So you cannot say they are bad or their ideology is not good. But we understand it different. The Buddha called, there are six main samana traditions. One of them is the Nigantas, Jains. What are the other traditions? I think I shared with you some times ago what their names and traditions like. The first one is, yeah, Kelvin?
I think I remember this one, Ajivika or something like this, right?
Ajivika. Ajita Kesakambala, you mean?
I think so.
Okay, that's a good try. Yeah, not bad. He is one of the teachers, Ajita Kesakambala. He has a very materialistic philosophy, Yeah, Ajita Kesakambala. And the first one is Purana Kassapa. The Purana Kassapa was the first. We take him as the first samana, teacher. He has a amoralism. What is that? Amoralism. He said, today, if you start killing anybody here with a sword, maybe you kill million people, million beings, it's okay. But on the other hand, if you start giving lots of dana to all the beings in the world, that is also okay. So, amoralism. He did not mind about morality. He just say actions don't impact us. Just do it. Amoralism. Okay. He is a samana, one of the samanas. So many people like that idea, Even you brought this up in today's world, don't worry about any action, just do it, This idea called, just do it. I think who doesn't like it? Just do it. But that has issues. This idea called just do it has some issues. But after you finding out, yes, this is a good thing, yeah, just do it. That's okay. But without understanding what it is, saying that just do it, there might have some issues. But his idea is just do it. Don't worry about actions. No karma. Second is Purna Kassapa. Then Makkali Gosala is the second guy. So Makkali Gosala has a different other tradition. He believed another idea. If you could see it here, it is called fatalism. He said, our suffering is predetermined. You can't change your destiny. It is the way how we were born. Our death, our everything is predetermined. Is it true? It is not. It is a partial truth. Partial truth, yes. We don't say we are determined, but we have the impact. We have the impact. But it is a partial truth. That means it is subject to many other things. If we are predetermined, so what's the use of listening to Dhamma? What's the use of offering dana? What's the use of becoming a better person? What's the use of thinking better? What's the use of trying to do good things? Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, whatever you do the way you want. We call it as a determinism. That is a discarded belief of the Buddha about karma. Because one day I think that sutta is, if I can remember, Ti-Ratana Sutta in Gangodawila Chandima, I guess. The Buddha says, I reject 3 wrong ideas about our experience. 3 wrong ideas. The first one is Issara Nimmana Hetuvada. This is connected to this idea too. That means the belief that we all were created and then given rewards and punishment by a supreme God. I reject that idea. There is no such thing. Okay. If somebody still believes that, see, this Buddha clearly said, I reject that idea. That's not true. Second is Pubbe Kata Hetuva. I'm sorry if I'm going to write all that takes time, so I'm just going to say, if anybody is interested, let me know. Pubbe Kata Hetuva. That's the second wrong idea that people had about their experiences, good and bad. The Buddha said, I reject the second idea about our experiences, which means everything that we experience now has been done by us in a previous life. One life or second, a couple cluster lives. No. But there is a partial truth. Yes, there are many karmas coming along the way, but not everything that we have. Buddha clearly said in the Sigalovada Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, that diseases coming out of bile of the body, in the body, phlegm of the body, and wind in the body, they are not karmas. They are arising because we have bile, we have phlegm, we have wind. We call phlegm to be semha samuttana abada. You know, in the Giribana Sutta. And then the second type of disease is called what do you call? Not disease. Illness is called semha samuttana. Then pitta samuttana abada. Pitta, bile. And the third type of illness comes from vata samuttana. That means wind related, like rheumatic arthritis. And don't take that. If you have arthritis, that it comes from wind related. It can come from multiple things. So the Buddha said, because we have what do you call pitta, semha, vata, they are not related to past karma. We get those illnesses because we simply maintain our body, because we need semma, we need phlegm, we need bile, we need what do you call wind. Otherwise, we can't run this body. The body cannot run itself. Another something to understand about semma, vata, pitta. Buddhaghosa, Venerable Buddhaghosa in his Visuddhimagga says, our sicknesses we have in our life have a connection to these three depending on our character. Buddhaghosa says that if you have a very what do you call lustful character, you are too much into karma. You have too much karma, so much karma. You have lots of lust. Then your levels of phlegm arise. Like your levels of phlegm arises in the body. And also he says, if you have lots of anger, so much angry person, then your level of bile, B-I-L-E, bile, goes up. Also, if you have what do you call lots of wind, I would say plenty of wind inside the body, that means you are susceptible to, you are vulnerable to what do you call, sorry, if you have lots of the connection to the virtue is the moha. If you have lots of moha, ignorance about life, you don't see the light, you are always misunderstood, you're always misled by other people, you don't understand what it is. That means your levels of wind in the body go high up. So the idea here is that Buddha says that I reject the idea that all experiences that we experience now come from the past life. But a lot of experiences that we experience now come from the past, but not everything. Not everything. So who is the person who can understand it? Only the Buddha. Because Buddha has this particular knowledge called kammassa kata jnana. Oh, he knows what different individuals have done in their past life. That is not relevant to us, but we cannot come to a conclusion that we have done all these karmas in previous life. That is why we are experiencing happiness and suffering. Third misconception that the Buddha rejected was this one. Sorry, the ahetuka appacchevada. Ahetuka appacchevada means our experiences are random, very random. There may be some experiences we have in random ways, but not all these experiences. Then the Buddha said, karma has to, our experiences have to be understood very differently. So don't say that we are experiencing suffering or happiness just because of the past karma. The other idea is that you can change your karma too, right? That's a different discussion. I'm not going to go there because it's a very lengthy discussion. But leaving that over there, now I come back to the Makkali Gosala. Now, Makkali Gosala said, everything is predetermined. That means the first idea, somebody is giving you rewards and punishments. Buddha said, it's not true. That is the second samana teacher, Makkali Gosal, he has this fatalism or determinism that everything is determined. Third Samana teacher is the one that Kelvin was trying to have a wild guess. It's about Ajita Kesa Kambala, Ajita Kesa, we call, he had this materialism, right? That means, don't worry, there is no next life. That's the heaven, right? Just be happy. I don't want to call what religions do follow that idea, but don't worry about it. Actually, those religious people don't mind about the next life. I think Buddhists are so worried about what will happen to us in the next life. Buddhists, Hindus, they are very, I think they are very complicated about their life. Especially some people simply do good things because of the next life, right? So I think those religious people, including Ajita Kesakamba, they did not worry about the next life, right? See, materialism. So when you die, everything is gone. But I think the religion that has a connection to this, they talk about the purgatory, the entry gate of the hell, purgatory, and the heaven. That's a different idea. The fourth Samana teacher is Pakuda Kachayan. He had this idea called eternalism. That means everything is eternal. So that is a problematic idea to Buddhism, because we believe in Buddhism, everything is anicca. Nothing is going to be permanent. Sassatavada we call. Nigantanatha Buddha, he had this, what you call, idea of experiencing all the unhappiness, suffering to cover the previous life experiences, right? The reason why they did not wear clothes, the reason why they what you call, did not want to enjoy the life, they all had reasons about paying back for the past karmas, right? They thought the more they suffer in their life, the more karmas they can exhaust, the more karmas they can finish experiencing. So we don't believe that, right? Can you take a benefit like that in your life? Do you know if you can exhaust your past karmas? You can't say like that, right? Karmas mature the way that they want to be. We can't change that. The last Samana teacher is Sanjay Bellatiputta. Sanjay Bellatiputta has this agnosticism. That means he is very cryptic about everything. If you ask a question from him, maybe yes, maybe no, maybe the ball. It's like evading from the question, right? Sanjay Bellatiputta. But don't think he's a bad guy, because even the Sariputta, Moggallana, they were followers of him, Sanjay Bellatiputta. Yeah, they were under him. That means, looks like he had a different philosophy. Actually, those people who don't give a particular idea are always reputed, because he has no idea, right? If you ask a question, Guruji, Bhante, what is the solution? It may be yes, maybe now, maybe the both. Oh, really? So that's a good way of, having some followers, So people like him very much. Other people, other summoners, they were kind of left out a little bit because they had their own ideas. It happens in our family circles too, right, Dhamma folks? If you have a family member who says no answer to any problem, good guy, yeah? Very good guy. Not involving in any problem. Everybody say good guy. But if somebody is very open-minded, saying whatever they feel, there is going to be the challenge in the family. Not a good guy. Always say bad stuff. Not agreeing to me, right? Anyway, so the idea of Sanjay Bellatiputta is simply not answering a proper answer. Okay, so now you know who are the samanas. Samana is a very, it's a massive group at the time of India, even now. Now the Brahmanas, not even samanas, now the young people, not even young people, like devotees like you, are supposed to take care of or fulfill responsibilities towards samanas, these 6 type of samanas. And at the same time, the Buddhist monks and nuns are not here, so including them. At the same time, Brahmanas. Okay, what do you know about Brahmanas? Anybody wants to try about Brahmanas? Who is a Brahmin? Have you ever met a Brahmin? So Brahmins are discuss mostly about the caste. You know, they say they are in a higher caste in India. Yeah, Sadris, you have anything to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. They're the highest caste.
Mhm.
They're the one who only learn all the verses and how to approach their goddess and all that, but nobody else supposed to learn that. So they control it that way.
Yeah, very true. Recently, I watched a video that was broadcast on a podcast in Seattle, United States. And the Washington state government has, I think, added caste issue into their discrimination policy across the state. Now, the Indian professor at a university in that part of the world is saying, you can change religion, you can change caste. This is the idea. Even people go to those countries, people still maintain caste issue, caste problem, saying that then the interviewer asking, how do you know that these people come from different castes? Last name, surname, surname, right? So they have different ways of understanding. So the Brahmins, even at the time of India, were trying to control everybody. That is their way. There are pros and cons. In Buddhism, we have a different idea. But Brahmins were the priestly class who enjoyed all the higher benefits of Indian system. What did they tell people? You can't see the God. You can't approach the God. You can't talk to him. How can you talk to the God? How can you connect? How can you become a part of the God? Only through us. When you bring what you call flowers or whatever, the puja stuff. So we do something. So through our intervention, you're going to connect to the God, right? So the Buddha did not, even though Buddha said nobody is going to be a Brahmin just by their birth, but by their actions, still the Brahmanism affected Indian society. Buddha could not simply walk away. So Buddha said not even samanas, but also Brahmins, because they also represent a kind of religious group. So respect them too. Now, we don't have any problem with the Brahmins. We don't care about the caste of anybody, right? As Buddhists, we don't care about how people were born, because we treat everybody in the same way. Wherever somebody is born, which country is somebody born, they are human beings, they are animals, whoever. That is our way of mind, right? Even in the Vasala Sutta, Buddha said, Najaccha vasalo hoti, najaccha hoti brahmano, kammana vasalo hoti, kammana hoti brahmano. Nobody is going to be an outcast by birth, but by their actions, right? Now, there could be very reputed people who have lineages. Sometimes their actions are not good. Some people are, not everybody. Their actions are not good. Because we like to feel people from their actions, not by their way of birth. That is how we are supposed to understand. So anyways, still we are at the background. That means as a layperson, you are supposed to take care of your religious people. In your case, monks and nuns. I'm not saying that go to the Jain temple, go to the Brahmin temple. It's not like that. The Buddha said to this young man, according to the time, when you see a Brahmin, when you see any samana, take care of them, right? Give your respect, give your whatever responsibility. Okay, so the first responsibility is interesting. What is it? Mettena kaya kammen. We know a couple words here. Mettena. What is mettena? Mettena.
Metta.
Mettena means metta. Kaya
Metta.
kammen. Kaya. What is kaya? I'm going to break them down like this so we'll understand properly. Kaya. What is kaya? What is kammen? Now, mettena means with loving kindness. It's pretty clear. Kaya. What does kaya mean in Pali?
Good karmas.
Kaya means body.
Body, yeah.
Kaya means just body. Our body means kaya, right? Then kammena. What is
Action.
kammena? Action, right? Here, action. Simply action. I would say not action, even though you understand it by action, activity. That means with action. Sorry, here activity. So bodily activity. Yeah, let's go that way. Bodily activity with loving kindness. Or I think we said friendliness, with metta. Just say metta. Bodily activity with metta. So as a layperson, you are supposed to show your physical actions, physical activities. Maybe you talk to, maybe you act in certain ways in a temple. Maybe you act in a ceremony. Maybe you act in front of the monks, nuns. So your bodily activities should be with metta. Why does it so? Because some people at that time, maybe they acted not with loving kindness, right? Any examples? Let's go to some stories. Kasi Bharadwaj. Have you heard this story? It's a Brahmin, a man, farmer actually. It's a farmer. Kasi Bharadwaj. Let me type, otherwise you won't understand. Kasi Bharadwaj. You can see this in the chanting book, okay? Kasi Bharadwaj. Brahmin. He's a farmer. Kasi Bharadwaj. Now, when the Buddha was walking by his place where he was cultivating crops, then the Buddha was using his alms bowl, like what those samaneras and upasikas doing these days, going for pindapat, right? The Buddha was bringing his alms bowl, and then he was just going by, and then he stopped for a while at the near the cultivation area. Then Kasi Bharadwaja was not happy. Okay, and he said, "Why are you expecting something from me? Go do a job. Make your own food." Right? And the Buddha was interestingly answering to him, "You know what? I also do farming like you." "Oh, really? Where's your paddy field? Where are your what do you call cows that you use to, do your paddy field? Where are your crops?" Buddha said, "I have all the things. Let me tell you. Saddha bijang tapo vutti panyame yuganangala. Hiri isa mano yotta sati me pala pachan." My crop is not your crop. It is saddha, faith. It's not the faith, confidence about life. That is my crop. Then saddha bijang tapo vutti. Now you expect the rain, water for your paddy field, but my rain is penance, tapo. That means I become a better person by practicing tapo, tapa. Panya me yuganangala. I have a yoke. Yoke, farmers use yoke in their cultivation. That is my wisdom. My yoke, the way how I use my the yoke is not the yoke that you use through the cows. That is panya, because when I have panya, I know where to go. My direction is clear. And then he understood, "Oh, really? That's a different kind of farming." The Buddha said, "Yes, I do that farming." Then he was happy at the end. Then he offered dana. Now, the example is he did not act with loving kindness. So Buddha knew that. So some lay people at that time did not act in loving kindness, because the reason is they were pretty new to Buddhism, right? They were Brahmins. Any other examples that you know? How some people acted a little bit unruly in front of the Buddha? Lay people, especially with their actions. You think that everybody came to the Buddha in a nice way, respected, and then, had a very nice chat, offered something and went back? That's what you think? No. Yeah, Hema, you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Kasi Bharadwaja was a difficult character, but he see the way how Buddha taught him. Huh? Now, if the Buddha had to say, I don't farm, I don't do anything, so he might say, just live here. Let me cultivate my, my crops here over here. You are disturbing my, my job over here. But no, I have the same. What about other devotees at that time? Huh?
Sigala, how about Sigala, Bhante? The
Sorry,
Sigalovada
Ariana?
Sutta. How about Sigala, from the Sigalovada Sutta, the son of this one?
Okay. But
He
do
also-
we find some unruly behavior to the Buddha with Singala?
He do not
No.
believe in Buddha.
He did not believe. Yeah, he is not a Buddhist believer. But we don't find unruly behavior, right? Like disrespect to the Buddha. He simply didn't like it. Simply didn't like because he only was driven by the father, mother instruction to do this, respect different directions. But unruly behavior. King Buddha, he was very unruly Buddha. Why is it? He was always saying, you left my daughter. Yashodhara is my daughter, but you left her with a son. That was really bad. Actually, he did not understand till his death. Very unruly. What else? Now I'm checking your knowledge of the life of the Buddha. Interesting. Going more than the Dhamma. Yeah, Sadhus.
Devadatta.
Devadatta, yes, he's a monk. Yeah, as a monk, yes, he was unruly, definitely. But let's talk about the lay people. Okay, but if you have something, just come up as we proceed. So, as a lay person, you are supposed to act with loving kindness. When, let's say you go to the temple, even a monk comes over to your house, you act in a very pleasant, maybe it could be a Mahayana monk or a Theravada monk, Vajrayana monk. Now, according to this teaching, maybe a father, pastor, whoever, because you have this loving kindness, metta. I would say metta. Right? You try to keep the metta. Does it mean that you can talk to other people without metta? Or just act it without metta? No, you are supposed to keep your metta as much as you can. But particularly for the samanas here, right? Religious people. Second is responsibilities. Same one. Mettena vachi kamme. What is going to be changed over here? Mettena vachi kamme. Now we know mettena. Then we have to find out the meaning of vachi. What is vachi? We know the kamme. Kamme means active. What is vachi? Your speech. Your speech. That means when you talk to a religious person, I would say a monastic or somebody like that, you have to mind about your speech. You're not going to talk gossip with the monks. Not supposed to talk gossips. Respect. You're not supposed to talk by swearing to other people with monks, nuns, right? Not supposed to, not responsibility, right? And then what about other things? Like pretty much your speech has to be done with metta. I think the opposite has come up because of the institutionalized issues. That is why things have gone wrong everywhere in the world. If you see some speeches from the devotees towards them, they come from not from the philosophical aspect, but from the maintaining the institutionalized aspect. Okay, we want our temple to be back, our temple and all that. So we have to be careful. Yes. Speech has to be done with metta. It's very good. That means you mind about your speech in 4 ways. You are not going to lie. You are not going to swear words. You are not going to speak behind the back, and then you are not going to gossip, Yes. You don't have to. If you know what to talk, you're not going to gossip. If you use your wisdom properly, you know what to talk. Right? Then if you take the same example to the actions, bodily activities. So you think about acting with not killing perspective, not stealing, not misbehaving, right? Remember the story of the hunter, Hawker, what's his name? There was a very famous story at that time. I can't remember his name, but start from Hawker. He was a hunter. So what happened was he's using dogs to target some animals. Okay. But one day he saw a monk on his way. Maybe the monk was going for Pindapat. That day he thought, today I'm not going to be able to hunt any animal because I saw the monk. He's not a Buddhist. Same thing happened. He could not hunt any animal by night. So he was very unhappy. So he told the wife, because I saw a monk, Buddhist monk, in the morning, I could not, hunt an animal because he was a hunter. On the next day, he was going also to the same area. He saw the same monk again. So he was very unhappy about this. Again, I'm going to see him. Now today, I won't have even rice tonight. My wife will not be able to find rice also, not even the hunt. Today, I'm going to harass this monk. So he chased his dogs to attack the monk. So the monk was somehow managed to climb the tree. So the dog was now barking at him. They were barking at the monk, right? And then the hunter was trying to punch the monk with a spike. Suddenly what happened? The rope fell down. Okay. The rope fell down to the hunter. So the dogs thought monk fell down, right? They started biting and attacking the hunter and they kill him. Right? This is what happened, the story. Now the idea is that he was not acting to the monks with loving kindness. Actually, we believe that seeing a monk in the morning is a blessing. That is what we believe in Sri Lanka and other places, even in Thailand, I guess, even in your country, you can see. But some people have some superstitious ideas. If you see somebody, even some animals, they're going to see something bad, right? We don't believe that. So anyways, that was about not mettena kaya kamme. Now here, mettena vachi kamme, that you are supposed to talk to monastics, so those samanas, with loving kind, your speech. Any example? Any story how this thing did not work? Now think about any occasions where people came to Buddha and then blamed the Buddha. What are those occasions? Think about it. Remember those events. Try to memorize. Try to get into your past with those memories. Any occasions where people came, individual came and then criticized the Buddha in front of him or we blame him. Any stories? One's very famous story is Akkosaka Bharadwaja. This gentleman is a Brahmin. Akkosaka Bharadwaja. He's a Brahmin. Why Akkosaka? This guy is always trying to blame someone. Wherever he goes, he's finding fault of anybody. Right? If he goes to an event, he's a problem maker. So he's called not Bharadwaja, Akkosaka, blaming Bharadwaja. One day he planned and he came to the Buddha. He said to the Buddha, he started blaming the Buddha, whatever the ways. And then after he stopped the blame, then the Buddha asked a very simple question. Can I ask some questions from you? Then he said, okay. Buddha asked a question from him. Do visitors come to your house? He said, yes, I'm a very good person. When visitors come, I treat them with lots of, in good ways. Then especially with confectionery, sweets, and all that snacks. Then the Buddha asks, what if those visitors are going to say that we are okay, we don't want to eat anything here because we just had our lunch or breakfast? What are you going to do with the food that you prepare? Doesn't matter. We're going to eat them. If they're going to be expired today, we're going to eat them. We're going to keep them in somewhere. Then the Buddha said, okay, so you came over to me today. You gave me a nice treat of blame, but I don't like to accept that. Please take it back. See how the Buddha responded to him. That means his speech was not with metta, right? And there were numerous other people who blamed the Buddha. Akosaka Bharadbhaja and followers of the Jains, right? Lots of times there were blames towards the Buddha, but he did not take them seriously that way. He was very calm. They were not done their speech with metta, right?
But how about Chincha?
Chinchi Manavika, that's another
Yeah.
example. Chinchi Manavika. What was the story, Dhamma Fox? You know the story of Chinchi Manavika? Anybody wants to explain?
Somewhat like he visited Buddha's.
Yeah.
She visited Buddha's
Assembly.
monastery for a few
Mhm.
times.
Yeah.
Then somebody make a plot to kill her and put the blame on.
That was another woman, Sadhu. That one called Sundari Paribrajika. This one
yeah.
is a different woman.
Or this one, you pretend to
Chinchimana.
be pregnant by Buddha and all that.
Yes.
He blamed Buddha for. He make the religious believe that the baby which is coming out is done by
Yeah,
Buddha.
actually, yeah, great. Thank you for reminding that. Now, Chinchimanavika's story is that the followers of the Jains always had issues with the Buddha, because the Jainism was very much popular even at that time. So they made a plot. The plot was they were asking one woman called Chinchimanavika to go to the temple, Jetavana. Okay, and she went, but after some time, they were making a stack of firewood in front of her belly, showing that she's pregnant. Now Buddha was giving a lengthy talk to a group of people, and she went to the front of the Buddha saying, see, this is your baby. Why don't you take care of him? Right? And then it is said that the goat Sakka felt it. He came as a rat. He cut the tongues of the firewood, fell down. Interesting, huh? So it was a blame to the Buddha. But Buddha was not taken aback. He was just simple. He knows that the truth will come out. Sundari, another woman is Sundari Paribrajika. That's a very dangerous story. The followers of the Jains used her, asked them to go every evening to the temple for the puja and all that. And then after some time, they killed Sundari and buried under the pond in the temple, Jetavana. And then they spread it to the people, Sundari is not here. Something must have happened. She went to the temple last couple of weeks. Maybe something happened from the Buddha. And then they told the Buddha about this. Sorry, they told the king. I think the king, I guess, Kosala, or probably Kosala. And then what happened was that then the followers of the Jains also said, we suspect maybe the body could be somewhere here. And then they showed maybe near the pond, and they found out. But then what happened? They all believed that this was done by the Buddha and his followers. And then people started blaming, stopped giving dana, no pindapata for a week, couple weeks. See? And then Bhante Ananda told Buddha, Bhante, can we leave this city? Savatthi. Let's go to another city. The Buddha asked, what if the same thing happens to us in this next city? We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to stay here. Truth will reveal. We will be revealed one day. And then luckily, king was able to find out. Then what happened? King Kosala was able to punish all these people. That was the time James and King Kosala had a big enmity. They were really hating the king. That was the incident. So anyways, these two incidents say lay people started trying to blame the Buddha by physical activities and also by speech. Okay. Third responsibility is, what is it? Mettena manokamme. You can see that, huh? Mettena manokamme. Mettena is simple. Metta, with metta. Manokamme. What is manokamma? What is manokamma? What is mano? What's the meaning of mano?
Mano.
Yeah, mano. Pali word mano. Let me type for you.
Is mind?
Mano.
Mind.
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 How many words do we have for mind in Pali? Interesting, huh? How many words?
Mano.
Mano is one. Let's say mano is one. Okay. Another word?
Chitta.
Chitta. Okay. Another word?
Mind, mano.
You know this word too? Vinyana. Are these words same?
Vinyan.
The idea of these words are the same? Or are they different?
Yes, Vinyan. Vinyan.
Yeah, vinyana. So I'm
Vinyan.
asking, do these three words for the mind say the same thing, or they talk about three different aspects of our thinking?
Different.
Three different perspectives. Emma, you want to try explaining to us about what do you think about these three aspects? What is mano to you?
The thoughts, or is it the first level? The mind.
Not exactly. Let me tell you. Mano is the physical. How to
Mind.
say?
Brain.
Mano is a one. We call, let's say, when you're born, you have a mind. We call it, you have a brain, but you have a mind. Whatever the mind, whatever the technical part you have as the mind in one life, we call it as mano. But the contents of the mind, what is happening inside the mind, are the first level of what is happening in the mind are the chittas. What are the chittas? Thoughts. We call them simply thoughts. Then actually, are we more serious about mano or chitta?
Chitta.
Should we be more serious about mano or chitta?
Chitta.
Chitta. Why is it? Why is it so? Mano is always there. Huh? You can't do anything from it. Because if you go to Satipatthana Sutta, Kayanupassana, Vedanupassana, do we have Manopassana or Chittanupassana? Chittanupassana.
Passana.
We have 16 thoughts. Saraga, Sadosa, Vitaraga, Vitadosa, Sankitta, Vikitta, Samoha, Vitamoha. There are 16 major thoughts that are arising in the mind. But people think, mind. No, not the mind. Thoughts. That is what we can change. From the lustful mind, we are going towards the mind that has no lust. From the angry mind, Sadosa mind, we are going towards the non-anger mind. From the ignorance mind, we are going towards the wisdom mind. That means thought. So it should be thought. So mind and the thought. Then what is vinyana? What is vinyana?
Senses.
Huh?
Is it senses?
Not exactly. Senses is a different way of explaining. For those who don't understand these words, let me write the translation so you will understand. I know there are some people who might not exactly understand. I would say this way. Chitta is thought. And Vijnana is consciousness. If you don't understand, please let me know. Huh? I'm not a dead cell. I want to know whether everybody is understanding, right? not just go with the people who know this. Okay. Okay. Kelvin, you trying to say something? Somebody's trying to say something here. Okay. Mano is the mind. Then Chitta is thought. Actually, thoughts. There are 16 thoughts in Satipatthana Sutta. And then now we come down to Vijnana. Okay, what is Vijnana? Vijnana is a higher state of your chittas. It is a higher state, mental state of your chittas. Can you give me an example? Give me an example of what is a Vijnana in your way. How many Vijnanas we may have? There are basically 6 Vijnanas. Chakku Vijnana, eye consciousness. Then Sota Vijnana, ear consciousness. Then Gana Vijnana, nose consciousness. Then Jivha Vijnana, tongue consciousness. Then Kaya Vijnana, the body consciousness. Then Kaya Vijnana, Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya. Then Mano Vijnana, that means the whole mind, when the whole mind is developed to the level of the consciousness. Mano Vijnana. But these are very basic consciousness types, very basic. Now you may ask, what will happen to me when I die? Do I carry my Chakku Vijnana, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana Vijnanas? Do I carry to the next slide? No. They are going to be dormant. They are going to be dormant here. That means they are going to be left out. They have no other. Then there is the base consciousness that will go from this body to another body. We call it base consciousness. Actually, these Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana, the sensorial, we call them sensorial consciousnesses, they arise, stay, perish within or inside the base consciousness. Okay, so let me say there are 7 Vijnanas, especially in our way, yeah? Not in Yogachara way, Theravada way. So the first one is, please mind about the spellings. I'm writing here. Chakku Vijnana, Sota Vijnana, Gana Vijnana, Jivha Vijnana, Kaya Vijnana. Then the 6th one is Mano Vijnana. But 7 is interesting. We call it 7. Now, the particular word that we're going to use can be different. I would say Bhavanga Vijnana. We don't see it in the Nikaya text, okay? We're going to see it in some places, probably canon, like what you call post-canonical text. We call it Bhavanga Vijnana. Or some people call in the Yogacara Mahayana philosophy Alaya Vijnana. Okay, let's see. Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana, Bhavanga. Now, I like to talk about the 7th one, Bhavanga. Now, Dhamma folks, when you die, this is the one that is going to the next slide. Then you might think, is it dormant now? Where is my Bhavanga Vijnana now? It is with me. Then what about Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana? Those Vijnana, they operate with that. Their base is Bhavanga Vijnana. Okay. I think it's It's an additional thought for you to think about, but we just don't read Sigalovada Sutta just by the way how it is. Now you know what is Mano, what is Chitta, what is Vijnana. True Vijnana uses 7 other Vijnana. The next time when somebody asks you what is Mano, what is Chitta, what is Vijnana, if they are wise enough, then you have something to say. Okay, now let's go back to our lesson here. Mettena Mano Kammena. Now you don't go to the chittas and vinyanas in the first place. You have the mind. Your mind has to be with metta when you deal with. So your thoughts, especially your thoughts, your 16 type of thoughts, they have to be channeled towards the wholesome, comfortable, I would say, wholesome, moral thoughts towards monastics, right? So when you talk to a monastic, samanas or brahmins, especially samanas, your thoughts that are happening in the mind have to be made with loving kindness, metta. So I would say metta. Okay, that's the third responsibility. The fourth one, let's go to the fourth responsibility. Anavata Dwarataya. What is this? Anavata Dwarataya. Now the English translation is having an open door. Now I think long time ago, in some countries, people don't lock the door. I heard in Switzerland, when I went to Switzerland a couple of years back, when the monk was trying to close the door, he was telling me, we don't lock the door normally. Few years back, I said, why? Before the EU happened, they did not close the door. Now, because of the EU, many people flock together from other European countries. So he was mentioning some countries, but I want to say that. So at that time, there was a time, even I think in your countries maybe, that people did not lock their doors. They closed the door because you can't just be without locking the door, without closing it. Some animals can come inside the house. Snakes can come, other unnecessary people might come inside, animals too. But they did not lock the door. There were not that many thieves. There were not that many bad people at that time. But now you have to, not even to lock the door, but also to set up CCTV cameras. Just to see who is there. Not even locking the door. And not even the CCTV camera. Probably you want to have a system to talk to the person outside. So that the world is getting complicated now, because of the challenges, right? People also becoming smart. Thieves also becoming smart. Scammers, a lot of people, guys over there. But here it says, when monastic is to come to your house, please keep your door open. What does it mean? Do you say that, Bhante, please come over to my house anytime? Is that the way how you're supposed to say? No, you have to be ready too, right? It's not a good thing. Anybody comes to your house without, we have to go by the norms that we have now in today's world. But I know you have a way to say that. Anytime, just give me a call, just a phone call away, right? Dayakas, we are dayakas. Some people might say like that. Just a phone, just a phone call away, right? You are just showing that you are open to help out the temple. Needs of the monk. Probably the monk is not driving, he gets sick or she gets sick, right? There's a system. Somebody's going and helping, giving the medications, something like, I don't know. I mean, there may be other ways to help out. Maybe if the temple needs some groceries, milk, I don't know, whatever other things. So you are having this open mind. What do you call it? Your house is open, but not in the way what we see at the time of the Buddha. You can't just open the door, keep the door open, but you are open to helping out the monks with their temple needs, right? I think that's clear. Anavata Dwarataya has to be understood that way. Don't misunderstand to keep your door open all the time. Unnecessary guests will come to your house. That is not the way. Okay, last responsibility. Pretty interesting. That means Amisanuppadane. Amisanuppadana. That means providing material needs. Amisa. What is amisa? Amisa means material things. What are the things that Bhantes need in a temple from the devotees? I'm going to ask this because the Vassa is coming up in a couple months. Huh? What are the basic needs a monk or a nun needs in a temple?
Food, shelter, and medicine.
4 requisites. What are they?
Medicine.
Tell me in some Pali. Chivara, ropes, pindapata, arms. Then Chivara, pindapata. Gilana pachaya. Medicine.
Medicine.
Then last one.
Requ-
Senasana. Senasana. That means shelter. Let me write for you so you will not forget about them. Huh? 4 requisites. I thought you know that because in the Vassa, they are pretty clear. Chivara, that means ropes. Then Pindapata, arms. Then Gilana Pachaya, that means medicine. Please check for the spellings. I'm writing here. And Senasana. Senasana means, I would say, shelter. Shelter in the sense of a monastery. I remember a very funny story for the arms. One of our friends in Canada, he was planning to go to a dana. Like some monks come to a house, one of his friends, Sri Lankan friends. So he told the boss, a white national, okay, that I want a little bit longer break because I'm going to a dana house. Some monks coming to that house. I want to go there and help out. So he went to that house. So he came back after 1 hour. Then the boss was looking at his hands. He was looking at this person's hand. Then he asked why. Because he said, I'm going to a alms giving house. He thought that he's going to give the alms. These alms, not the arms. He was checking what something happened to your arms, you know. So alms giving, not arm giving. He was misspelling the letters over there. Okay, so as a devotee, in your best possible way, I know devotees have their different ways of living, especially with their life. So depending upon your budget, depending upon your life, your comfort, you are supposed to, there's a responsibility to take care of the monastics. There's no hard and fast rule that you must do this way, that way, but it is a responsibility to help out the monastics. Okay, so 5 responsibilities from your side to the monastic monks and nuns. Number 1, mettaya kaya kammena. Your actions have to be done with metta. Mettaya vachikammena. Your words, your speech has to be done with loving kindness. Mettaya manokammena. Your thoughts that you make, nobody knows, huh? Your thoughts have to be done with loving metta. And then anavatadvarataya, you are making sure, ensuring the temple, if possible, that you are available to help out the temple. Because if they don't know whether you are available, they can't contact you. So we need this one. Can you please buy this for us? Right. So you are saying you are willing to do this, showing your willingness to the temple. And then the last one is you are actually bringing those material things according to your financial, plans. So these are the 5 responsibilities. Now, the interesting thing is when you do 5 things, 5 responsibilities, monastics are going to do 6 responsibilities. Interesting, huh? We're gonna learn that next Friday. You are doing 5. I think everybody in these responsibilities were doing only 5. Parents, teachers, spouse, friends, employers, even the dayakas like you only do 5. But the monks and nuns, have to, they are supposed to do 6 responsibilities. If I'm sure, let me see. Yes, 6 responsibilities. Okay, any questions, the books today about these responsibilities? I mean, about these 5 or any other thing I discussed today about the mind or vijnana or whatever, anything. Let me ask you a question. Is it easy for you to deal with the monastic, with your speech, with your actions and your mind, with metta? You think that it's easy for you to deal with them? Because sometimes, let's say, some are not just like moving here and there. Let's not think about the monks and nuns. Let's think about your people, your family circles. If I ask you a question, is it easy for you to deal with them with metta, or you always come up with some anger, frustration, disappointments when you have to talk something to your people around you, when you do things to them? Are they giving you opportunities for you to be peaceful in your actions, in your speech, in your mind? Or what are the reasons? Let's talk about the religious category after that. Why is it? Let's start from the house. Charity begins at home. Huh? Let's talk about from the home, not in the temple. Why is it? Why it is little harder? Sometimes it's harder for some people. And there may be good. There may be people who are very peaceful. I don't know. It's the nature of these people. We have to say that too. But there are different situations where people don't feel that they want to be with metta, but at the end things are gonna fall apart for some reason. Different people are differently thinking, acting too. In your way, what is the issue here? Why can't you deal with your people with metta? Yeah.
Bhante, actually, it's both ways. Sometimes you try to tell them things that are right, but they don't listen to you. So you get very annoyed, angry. I'm telling you the right thing to do, but you're not following my way. But to them it's wrong. So to us it's right. So that's why it causes unhappiness. Because to me it's right, to them it's wrong. So maybe
Interesting. Now the other problem to that thing is that why do we have to find an honor to the right thing? My right and your right. And I think this could be kind of an issue, in many people. They might say, I also see the right thing in my own way, but you see it in your own way. So there's a clash because these two not gonna work together, interact together, right? This could be a problem, I think, because we are born in a society where many people expect us to find our own version about the right thing. If you are a Buddhist, you have your own version of your Buddhist way. But then when we want to interact with our inner circles, like people in our family, our friends, then there are issues coming up because they don't want to accept you the way that you want. But
So
what if we look for a common ground? Let's go for a common ground, How better can I talk to this person? Little difficult. I mean, go beyond our comfort zone, actually. It's a little difficult. Because I think for the most part, it is not because what you say is okay and good to other person. It is because they don't want to accept your way.
that's why it's very difficult.
That's the problem. They don't like to accept you, not accept what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So can you guide us?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, Sadris, you want to say anything?
Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, please unmute, Sadhguru.
Whatever we discuss or try to correct someone or what, at the same time, we must try to tell them what you think about what I say. Is it okay? Are you agree?
That's a better
You know,
approach.
if you don't, then just leave it at this. Because someone we cannot impose anything on anyone. But it's better to ask their ideas before we put the end to it.
So if they don't agree, so are you saying that you close one eye or close your ears?
Just let it be. Because we are beyond our control. As a good person, we try to correct that person, let's say if it's wrong or what. But we also ask their suggestion. What do you think what I say? Does it make any sense? Does it helpful? If he said no, I don't like that, I don't, you don't, okay, good. Just shut
So
up.
you end up quarreling.
No, don't quarrel, just shut up. That's it, finish.
Yeah, I like your fundamental approach, like saying that this is what I think, but I don't know how you think about it. Giving some space for that
Opportunities.
person to think. Yeah, enter the what you call the idea of what you believe. Not saying that this is what I believe. You're gonna understand that. So I mean, some people don't take it in the same way how we believe, unless they respect you a lot. Yes, like for example, when a monk is going to give a Dhamma talk about life, you anyway is going to respect. I don't know whether you accept or not. I mean, in a temple Dhamma talk surrounding, but if the same thing is going to given by another lay person to you, you might not take it the same way as fast as the previous incident. Yes, because now if you take it in your family circles, we have to be very careful when we talk to people we know for a long time, because there is this what you call clashes between personal circles, right? So we have to understand how better I'm going to talk to this person. So saying that I remember this incident when I was riding the train long time ago, like probably the early years I went to Canada. There was a woman in the sky train asking, "Can I sit down here?" No. No, the gentleman said next to me, "Why? This is not the way you should ask. You should have asked." And she was an immigrant at that time, saying, "How should I ask? Is it okay if I sit down here?" Ah, yeah, that's the way. See, people take it differently. People don't like somebody's going to tap into their their personal space, right? So we have to find out a better way to talk, like even what you believe, what you feel, especially if it is meant to affect the other person, right? For example, not saying, "Hello, can you do that? Do you have time to do this? Oh, can you do it? Or do you have time to do it?" Of course, there's a difference. That person might think, okay, this person is very thoughtful about my time, and then asking this whether I can do it. Not saying that, "Hello, can you do this? And do you have time to do this?" See the tone and the way you approach the person. In the same way, if you have something to say, just organize your thoughts, how to communicate with this person, how to communicate the message, how to deliver the message in a better way.
NLP.
Huh?
NLP.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, if you say hello, so sometimes they won't be happy because
They won't
I
be
got a
too,
name.
yes.
I got a name. Why do you call me by name? Unless you don't know me.
Well, I sometimes hear from somebody, "Hello, excuse me." Somebody who is talking online, like on internet, on a YouTube channel. Yeah, hello is not a good way. But I mean, the way how you organize your thoughts and then deliver to that person. So it's always about how we deliver the message to that person. Any other thoughts about what we... okay, let's come back to now temple side. That was about your inner circles in your house. So I asked the question, is it easy for you to deal with a monk or a nun with metta in your own way? It should be easy. It should be.
Should be very easy.
It should be, but there are maybe, yeah, okay,
With the monks, it's easy.
monks and nuns.
Yeah. It's easy. I feel that because when they talk, because you all have gone through a lot of metta, how to give metta. So we believe that Bhante, all the Bhantes, they are very kind-hearted people. They have gone through the meal, the journey. So they know how to give metta. So we respect them in such a,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
like us, no lay person.
Mhm.
We want to, but somehow our mind.
Out of control.
Yeah, true. Because we have preconceived thoughts about our people. So we have to go beyond the stereotypes like that. Huh? I think we have lots of stereotypes about people, you know. This person did this to me a long time ago, so I'm very angry about it. Even though I forgave, but I can't forget. Right?
Lay person, right?
Mostly. I mean, mostly. Individually speaking, it could apply to everybody, unless you are an enlightened person, right? But we are supposed to forget, forgive, at the same time, forget. Otherwise, we are wasting our time. The moment that you're trying to be angry, it's a moment of your waste of your
Then
lifetime.
you lose your merits, right?
Lose our merits, lose the precious time to be happy, even for a second. Now think about if a doctor is to say, you have a cancer, you're going to die in 10 days. How precious is your every second from that moment onwards?
Very
You
precious.
think every moment is precious because I'm going to die in 10 days. Right? It's not about I'm going to eat all the junk food from today. It's about every second that I have to spend wise, right? I think it's about how we do things, how we think, how we organize, how we deliver our way of, you know, messages. Okay, any other questions? I know a couple of you have to be in the temple tomorrow for the program, so I will take another minute. Otherwise, we're going to transfer the good cards.
Bhante,
Yeah, Hema.
perception and perceive a person is one of the aggregate, right? That we shouldn't have, right?
Perception
One of
and
the five aggregates.
yeah, you mean the
we
sanya
perceive-
kanda? Yes. Uh-huh.
So you perceive this is one of the cause of the suffering, isn't it? We shouldn't perceive at all, right?
It's automatic. I think we are not perceiving, although we say perception, because let me tell you, there is one group of Brahmas, we call them Asanya Satta. Let me write for you. There are 16 Rupavachara realms. Huh? One of them is Asanya Satta. Okay, now who are these people? These people meditated in the human world thinking our sanya is the problem to our sansara. So when they passed away here, they're going to be reborn in that particular Brahma world. Funny enough that they don't have sanya in that world. That means there are beings who can live without sanya. Now let's take it to our side. But the other funny thing is that there is a time one day after millions of years, they're going to think about. Once they think, they're going to exit from that Brahma world. So for us, I think sanya is a part of 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. Yes, we perceive. But when we perceive, we have to understand what to perceive. Yeah. What to perceive. Because there is something called Sanya Vipallasa. That means perversions, distortion of our perception. Sanya Vipallas, that's what we call in Pali. This is not good. Sanya Vipallas, we call it perversion of perception. This is not good. Now, what is Sanya Vipallasa? Now, let's say, what is Sanya? Sanya means I mark something that I know from the past, or I mark something for the future, right? mostly I mark from a subjective way, right? Let's say I see a pen. Then when I see a pen next time, I usually go with my previous perception to this perception, the new perception. I will mostly go with the subjective perception. But this pen might be different, the pen that I'm going to see the second time, right? So for Sanya, what I'm saying is that we have to understand whenever we perceive anything, person, event, any other situation, we have to go with the objective way of perceiving that particular person and thing, rather than subjective way. Then we have less suffering. When we have, do you get what I mean by subjective and objective? Not that much. Okay, let me make it a little bit easier for you. Now, when I see somebody, now, let's say there is somebody called Jane. I see Jane now. I see some differences. I see good virtues and bad virtues. Then after 10 years, I see somebody like Jane. Somebody like or somebody different than Jane. But my immediate thought, perception will be to go and catch the past perception of the Jane. Right? But the new Jane or somebody is different. So I'm struggling with my previous perception that was not true, because subjective knowledge is always not true, false. So I have to develop subjective knowledge with the objective knowledge. That means this person is different. So then we are not caught up in the sanya vipallas, distortion, a distortion of the particular person or the event. Now, in other words, I would say there's some bad.
Does it mean it's like illusion?
At the end, it is. Yeah, at the end, it can be an illusion.
Not real.
But for the most part, what is happening is that you give meaning to your perception. Then you think about the new person, where you are supposed to have a new perception with the same perception that you had in the past. That is not good.
There's the cause of suffering.
Definitely, because our perceptions are not always wholesome, right? Because we always juggle with our memories, but there may be a new person or new event that could be totally different, but I still see it as a reflection of my past events or the past person, right? So perceptions are okay until we give the objective meaning to the perception.
And not attached to the past. And not attached to the past.
No, past might be good. Let's say you have a good friend who was very good, right? So it's okay. But what about the bad incidents? Our bad virtue, our bad karma, kilesa, akusala side. So you take the same example to the new person. That is not good. I think we juggle with those bad moments. Other than that, perceptions are okay. Right? Let's say you go to the temple. You had a very, very good chanting a couple years back. Now you see a different chanting today. Right? Maybe it is a new way of chanting that particular sutta, or probably a new monk is chanting that way. You don't need to be worried about it. That was in the past. Now this is a different one. Try to absorb. Not juggle with the past sanya and this new sun. Make sense? Okay, sanya is okay, but as long as you bring the objective meaning to the sun, not the subjective.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are no questions. Let's go to our transference on merit side. May all the good karmas that we have been accumulating to this point of time be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. May, if the departed relatives were already reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to switch to a better, comfortable life, such as the Kama Sugatis. If they are already reborn in a Kama Sugati, a better place, may they be able to improve their life standards and finally use the wisdom that they can have through the Dhamma discussions to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to recite the stanza. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayu. Also, let's share all the good karmas with the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas. May Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas. Devas means deities. Nagas means not just the snakes, snake type of beings. And the Mahitikas means all the powerful, majestic, non-human beings. May Deva, Naga, and Mahitikas also be well and happy. And at the same time, may they protect and bless all of you, your family members, your parents, your children, your spouse, and everybody, grandchildren, everybody, for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and all the good things coming along the way. May the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas also finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhanthu loka sasana. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhanthu desanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. May we be in the company of the Kalyana Mittas, good friends, noble friends, and not in the company of the bad friends, Papa Mittas. We do understand that Kalyana Mittas do play a bigger role in making us like-minded and to continue, maintain, sustain understanding and the practice of the Dhamma. Thinking thus, we're going to recite stanza. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavanimbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we have been accumulating today be support you and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisse nichang vaddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanyo sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, everyone. And this is the end of our session today. So